Alina, I'm sorry. On the day you plan to come back from your parents' house with our daughter, I'm going to have to leave on a business trip.
What ended up happening that caused you to have to do that?
The person who was supposed to be going on the business trip was just admitted into the hospital with some lung problems, so I was asked to step in for them and got on this trip. There isn't anyone else in the department that knows as much as I do about the assignment, so I'm going to have to go in that person's place, so I won't be around for your return home.
I see. Well, that's not a problem, though. I'll figure something out, so you don't worry about me and focus on that trip. I can either ask someone else to come out here and get me, or have one of my parents take me home. I could also just stay out here at their house until you're back home, too.
Sorry about this. I should be home during this point in time, but things just started to fall apart one after another.
What are you talking about, Kenneth? Everything is totally okay right now. I get that you have to go out of town for a bit when I was planning on coming home, but you aren't doing it on purpose. Also, I can handle myself when things like this come up.
You have a good point. Thank you for saying that to me.
And another thing about you being a new dad is that you have to focus on your job just as much as your family, so please don't apologize for having to leave town. I'll be doing my best now as well, figuring out what to do next, so let's do our best together.
All right. Thank you, Alina. But there is actually one other thing I'm a bit worried about.
What's that?
I just got a message from my mom out of nowhere, and she seemed pretty upset. My little sister Morgan got a divorce and had to come back home to my parents' house.
What? That happened with Morgan? Once again, can we say that her timing was very good?
I'm sorry. Though I'm not sure why I'm apologizing for something like that. It's not going to solve anything.
So, as of right now, back over at your mom and dad's place, Morgan is there and will most likely be staying there for the long haul. I'll keep that in mind from now on.
If anything happens between you two, let me know right away. All right?
All right, I will. Morgan, I can hear you right now inside my house with someone else who has a much deeper voice than any woman I've heard before. What exactly is going on in there right now? Well, if it isn't my sister-in-law, Alina. I just got back to my house with my newborn daughter, and this is what I show up to? And how come my key no longer works to the house, making it impossible for me to open the door? Right now, I am beyond shocked by what all is going on here. So could you please enlighten me a little on what all is going on with you inside my house? Starting today, I'm making this place my house for good. You're being a nuisance right now, so could you please go back to your parents' house now? Excuse me? This happens to already be my house, Morgan. What are you talking about right now? This house? It's my house. I made sure to take it from you. And that means you can no longer call this place yours. Everyone already knows that that house is your brother's and mine, so would you stop trying to make such cruddy remarks about it? Now let me into my house right now. I have my baby in my arms right now that I just gave birth to a week ago, so how about you stop being a little brat and let me in? I don't care about you and your baby. Also, you've been out of this house for months now, so I'm sorry that you couldn't figure out that after being away for that long, the house would no longer be yours. I was away with my parents because I was going to have my baby girl, so don't start smart-mouthing me, little girl. Stop trying to bring that stinky little child into my house. Morgan, open the frickin' door! This house is for me and my older brother now, so you take that stinky little thing and go back to your parents' place. I'm not even going to let you into the front room, so you'd better get going before it starts getting cold out there. You are really pushing some very dangerous buttons right now, Morgan. But if that's how you want to behave still, then fine. I'll leave my house for you. All right. Did you know that I've always disliked you, Alina? I don't even get how my parents were able to endure you. Don't you ever come back around us, okay? Kenneth, your little brat of a sister has done it again.
Really? For God's sake.
She's gone into our house and taken it all for herself.
What?
I had just arrived there a little bit ago with the help of my dad. And as I was walking up to the house, I could hear Morgan in there with another person who I swear is a man. She went and did something to change the lock to the house, and I had no way of getting inside. And when I began to ask her to let me inside, she yelled at me, saying the house is hers and her older brother's now, and told me to leave. And then she started to call our daughter, our baby daughter, a thing. How the hell is this crap happening again, Kenneth?
Hey, calm down a little, Alina. Look, I totally understand that you're frustrated right now. And you, honestly, well, I do not blame you for that. Where are you right now, Alina?
I am at your parents' house right now. I called your mom about what happened, and she told us we could go over and stay with her. So I'm here right now with our daughter and my dad.
I see. Well, thankfully your dad was still around to help drive you and our girl over to my mom's place, but what the hell is Morgan thinking? And actually, how did she even get into the house in the first place?
Your mom told me that she couldn't find the spare key to our house anywhere and had been looking all over for it. She thinks Morgan took it from her.
God damn it. Well, if she was able to get that key, then she used it to get inside, and then probably unlocked all the doors from the inside, made sure to keep them locked.
Yeah.
Why the hell did this have to happen now, of all times?
Your mom was telling me that she had a talk with Morgan yesterday about some things. She said your little sister wasn't going to be allowed to stay too long at your parents' place this time, and that she needed to get a place of her own soon and find a job. That way she could move out and sustain herself for once. And, well, Morgan wasn't a fan of all that, rolling her eyes at your mom the whole time. Jumped to this morning, your mom woke up and couldn't find Morgan anywhere and started to wonder where she might have run off to.
So, she went and took our house after.
That's what it seems like.
I'm going to contact Morgan about this, so just hang tight. Wait for me to get back to you.
Sounds good. Good luck, Kenneth.
I was no use. I tried calling her over and over, yet she just kept sending my calls straight to voicemail. She won't even read any of my texts that I've sent her. Maybe she's gone and turned her phone off or something on me. I also tried calling the house phone, and nobody picked that up either.
I see. By the way, while you'd been trying to call your sister, your mom and I went through all of her things that she'd brought over here.
Her things?
These are all the things that her ex sent to your parents' house after the divorce, and so your mom made sure to put them all in your sister's old bedroom. Well, most of her things are all gone from here now, so we suspect that she took them all with her to our house.
Honestly, what the hell is wrong with her?
And, because of that, there's something I'd like to ask you.
What?
I've been thinking about what Morgan had said to me earlier, about how the house would be for her and you now. So I'm wondering, if you went to our house, would she still be willing to let you inside?
That's a good point.
I'm pretty sure she's going to be in our house for a while since she took all of her things with her. And so this can wait until you're back from your business trip. But when you have the chance, your mom and I would love for you to go over there and see what's going on with her, and then come back to your parents' house and tell us.
Understood. I'll be able to make it home tomorrow night, so before coming to you guys, I'll make a stop over at our house. And then we can start talking about what to do with Morgan.
All right, sounds like a plan. Thank you, Kenneth. Alina, Kenneth is back from his business trip now. And just like I was thinking, he's on my side. He was pretty surprised at first to see me in the house, but that's when I told him that the baby you had isn't even his. And he actually believed me without hesitation. Alina, did you actually do something you weren't supposed to do? I think my brother is no longer into you anymore. Sucks to suck, don't it? Well, now that he's on my side and no longer cares about you, this pretty much settles the fact that I own this place now. Alina, I would like you to take your baby with you and divorce my brother for me, please.
Alina, just like you were thinking, she let me into the house without question.
Thank God.
She started to go on about how the baby you gave birth to isn't even mine and all that, and was happy about it. So in order not to upset her any and let me in, I made sure to act as though I believed her, but no longer talk to you.
She was just texting me all about that a little bit ago. Right now she seems to think that you're on her side in all of this.
Understood. The fact that she would even say something like that about us, I'm not sure if I feel comfortable about her even being my sister anymore, you know?
Well, just don't worry about that for the time being. Just be happy you were able to make it inside our house. Now, while you're there, I'm going to get to work on what all needs to be done next here.
Roger that. But she is seriously determined to have this house, and never let you back. You noticed that, right?
Well, something tells me her brain is aging a lot faster than the rest of her body, and that she's already becoming senile or something, which is causing her to go off the deep end. Or maybe it's a form of dementia. I'm not sure, but we need to make sure we do something about her before time gets away from us.
That's true. I can feel a chance to take care of her really soon here, though.
You think so?
When I have a bit more confidence in what's going on with her, I'll let you know what to do.
All right. Well, then I'll let you handle most of the work. Alina, I'm about to head out on a little vacation. I've actually gotten myself a new boyfriend, actually. And he invited me to go on a small little vacation overseas for the next 2 weeks. So I'll be leaving my house in the hands of my brother while I'm gone. And I made sure to tell him not to let you or that little smelly brat anywhere near this house. So don't even try anything while I'm gone. And hurry it up with that divorce, okay?
Hey, Alina. Morgan left the house 20 minutes ago. She just texted me saying she's on the bus to the airport now, so things should be just fine for you.
Understood. I'll let our little buddy know that things are going to plan here, all right?
All right, thanks. Now I'll need to pick up the pace here and make sure to get all of our things out of here.
Sorry that you're having to handle all of my things as well for me.
No worries. You already had to deal with enough now, so I can manage. Now I'm gonna get to work here, preparing everything.
Sounds good, and thank you again for all of that. Alina! Hi, Morgan. Today is the day you came back to the States, right? Welcome back. I hope your flight and everything was all right for you. Where is my house? What? You had a house, Morgan? I don't recall you ever having one. I took that house from you, saying that I'd be living there with Kenneth, right? Don't you remember all of that? Well, I just got off the bus, and my house isn't there anymore. All that's left is dirt and gravel. What happened to my house? I'm not sure what all happened to the house, but what I do know is that the place was getting pretty old. Huh? It seemed the right thing to do would be to have that old place torn down and have the land used for an apartment building or something. So I got in touch with a good old friend of mine and had him and his company take care of all the demolition work. What? They're going to start the construction of that building here in the next few days, so I wouldn't stick around there too long as they'll need all the space they can get. What is going on here? How dare you demolish my house like that? Are you fucking kidding me right now? I'm sorry, but I have the right to choose what I want to do with my property. I'm not sure what house of yours you're talking about, but that house was mine. Shut up! That house was mine! The land is mine! Technically, it's all my brother's stuff, but that also means that it's mine. And I know you and him were working on getting a divorce from one another, right? Well, now you've gone and really done it, Alina. I'm going to make sure you have to pay for vandalizing our things. Morgan, how about you cut that BS right now and get a grip? I know that I'm not the most patient of people in this world, but I think I gave a lot of my patience for you, and you're still acting like a child. That house, the one you keep saying somehow became yours, was originally built by my grandparents. What? After they both passed away, it was given to my uncle, and he lived there by himself for a little while. But once he had retired from his job and planned to move out to where his wife was living, my parents agreed to allow him to give me the house. So he went and changed the name on the place to my name, making it my house. What? And for a while now, I've been paying the bills on that house, and it has been written down in all my taxes. So not only am I saying it was my house, but it is, by law, my house. What the? Normally wouldn't the house become your husband's after you get married? I don't think that matters. Dang, what am I going to do? How am I going to explain all of this to my brother now? You don't have to worry about your brother anymore, Morgan. Right now, I'm with him, and we're both moving into our new house as you and I speak. Huh? Sorry, Morgan. But from the very beginning, your brother was lying to you about being on your side in all of this, as he was only doing that to fool you into letting him plan things out more solidly. Really, he's always been on my side. No way! And he never once believed that bullcrap about my daughter not being his kid. I'll have you know, actually, that your brother and I worked very hard making our daughter and needed some help from a doctor due to some issues because of fertility. So Kenneth was there as he watched me be impregnated. There was no way another man could have gotten me pregnant, as they would have had to go through all the efforts your brother and I did. You're lying. Then where am I supposed to go now? Good point. Personally, I think you should go to hell for all the crap you pulled this time around. But a better place would be a doctor, so they can test your head and find out what the hell is wrong with you. However, before you go and do that, maybe try your parents' house first. What? We had all of your things taken out of the house and sent back to your mom so that they wouldn't be destroyed when the house came down. So you're very welcome for that. Wait! By the way, Morgan, I think there's something you forgot to do. Something so very important, and you've put it off so long now that it's past the due date. Could that be your settlement that you need to pay your ex? What? How do you know about that? Your ex-husband's lawyer was calling your parents' house, and they so happened to get to talking. The lawyer was telling your parents that you signed off on paying your husband $500 a month until you finished paying off the full $10,000 you owe him. However, he still hasn't gotten a dime out of you. Wait, no way. And the reason for that divorce in the first place was because you cheated on your husband. But I put in so much work making sure my parents never ever knew about that and thought the divorce was something we both wanted. So that neither my mom or dad knew a thing about the settlement. Well, had you just started paying off your settlement like you agreed to doing, then the lawyer would have never had to call your parents' house and none of us would have known the truth. But you decided to be a dumbass and not pay your husband every month, and that is why he had his lawyer get in touch with your family. So you can't go blaming others for your own faults, because you are in your late 20s now, and children are only legally children until the age of 18. Now stop acting like a frickin' brat and take all of the responsibility you have. What the hell? I was doing so well avoiding everyone. Who the hell do you all think you are anyway? The whole reason Morgan thought that it would be a good idea to take my house from me was because she thought out of everyone, her older brother would side with her and defend her. Apparently her parents were both telling her to get a job and stop acting like a freeloader all the time, and that set her off. So in an attempt to avoid her mom and dad, she stole the duplicate key and made a break for it while Kenneth and I weren't home. Once she felt that she had the place all to herself, she thought that she could act tough and started to tell me how much she hated me before telling me to never come back. Also, when it comes to that man she went overseas with a little bit after taking my house over, she only started dating him because he had money, and so she thought he could start helping her pay off the settlement from her ex. But at the end of their vacation overseas, he knew what she was after and told her to never talk to him again, before getting on a different plane than her and going off to somewhere she'd never find him. And so with that, Morgan was back to square one, where she would have to pay off that settlement all by herself. However, Morgan came back to no home, and her parents were both so pissed off with her that they took all of her things that were not necessary and threw them in the trash. They then told her to take her single bag of clothing and wait outside for a van to come and pick her up. That would be taking her far away to one of her parents' family friends' logging camps. There, she would begin working 6-month-long rotations out in the middle of nowhere, saving her money that she made in order to pay off the settlement, which had now doubled because she broke the contract. I've heard that right now she's always crying and whining on the job, so much to the point that multiple men on the site have told her to shut her mouth before they drop a tree on her.